This was the scene in Sousse soon after the Foreign Office declared Tunisia a no-go area for British tourists. Bars and restaurants usually bustling on Thursday night, now quiet and empty. In the days immediately after the massacre at the beach, the Foreign Office simply told tourists to be vigilant because more attacks were possible. But that warning has now been stepped up because another attack is considered highly likely. Gunman Saifuddin Rezgi may have been part of a bigger terrorist network.
We have today decided to change our travel advice for Tunisia to advise against all but essential travel for the time being. While we do not have any information suggesting a specific or imminent threat, since the attack in Sousse, the intelligence and threat picture has developed considerably, leading us to the view that a further terrorist attack is highly likely.
Most British tourists who were in the vicinity of the attack opted to leave the country almost immediately afterwards. Within hours, they were queuing up to catch a series of emergency flights organised by airlines and tour operators. Those departures increased in the days afterwards. But others did opt to stay and watch ceremonies commemorating the dead. Some said they didn't want to give in to terrorism. Some simply refused to sacrifice a holiday they'd already paid for. According to the Association of British Travel Agents, around 3,000 British holidaymakers are currently on Tunisian package holidays. An unknown number of others have travelled there independently. All are being urged to return home as soon as possible.
All of those tour operators who have programmes out there will now be bringing their customers home. So that will be over the next sort of 24, 48 hours. They will be having flights to bring people home. And it is very important that you do contact your tour operator, your travel provider if you're out there. There will also be some people who are travelling independently, so it's important that you contact your airline.
All 30 British tourists who died had travelled with Thomson and First Choice. They responded by cancelling all Tunisian holidays for most of July. But even as the new Foreign Office advice was being released, it was still possible to book a trip to the country at the end of the month. Those are now being withdrawn until the end of October, and staff who remained in the country will be brought home within 24 hours. It's another devastating blow to the Tunisian tourism industry. Officials had done their best to welcome those who were still prepared to come. Indeed, some German and Russian holidaymakers continue to fly in, but it's now off limits for Brits and will stay that way for the foreseeable future.